How are you guys doing today?
Welcome to
Everybody Wants to Know podcast. Today is all about Manifest 2026. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I was saying before Manifest, they really wanted to have like the podcast microphones. Yeah, just look more professional. We'll look at it this way. Next time we'll get more we'll get crazy with it. A little bit more. Manifest 2026. What do you want to know? Where should you start, right?
I want to start on the setup. Okay. I thought that was something that I've never seen before in my life. Okay. This was one of my first attendance with Popshap to the actual show. So on Saturday, Sunday, I want to talk about that. How did that go?
Well, let me ask you: Is someone coming from the outside to see a mass setup like this? What was your first reaction? You see all those cases, people moving. We have what, 26, 27 people.
It was organized chaos, but it was like everything was organized. It was just so I didn't realize so much.
Would Daya tell you, sir?
No,
Okay.
I just walked in and I'm carrying my, the camera and everybody's just like moving really fast, but everybody was kind of on point. You could see the care in the booths that really, did it big, like Art Best or Gather AI. You just saw like them putting everything together. And I honestly thought it wasn't going to be finished because it was so much.
Welcome to our world. Every trade show has a notion of what the hell is going on here. How do we even start a show, and at the end, it's just poof, and everything, they open the shirts all the time. I tell you, Manifest, as big as the show is for us, and the moving elements of the Exilio, show management, kit orders, sponsors, and all these elements running around the venue, a place of evolution where you have Beauty Williams activation, really massive. With all that, this is our fourth year at the show. So the familiarity with the staff and their staff and how amazing you are. And I'm not saying that because we're on camera. They're really great to work with. Along with, a good general contract T3 that makes it easy on moving. These elements takes the storm, weathers the storm into like a nice activation, something that, you work hard for a few days, but you can recover. Unlike, I can tell you, smaller shows, it's chaos can just erupt, and where it's very hard to recover. So Manifest is a controlled chaos. We always have a plan moving in. It doesn't always seem like that, but because we work so closely with the client, the connected group, and now it's moving to Hive, and we know Hive very well. Because of all elements, you always recover. You figure out a solution for things that come up.
Yeah.
The venue is friendly. Encore works well with us. So everyone figures a common route to success in that show for sure. But yeah, I can't imagine someone from the outside coming in and looking at that chaos. Just a few weeks before, I came to the show floor in World of Concrete. Biggest show, massive. And I took my wife and like, let's go to lunch. They stop by and see what we do, how we do it. And she's like, no, you guys get it, together, right? But for someone from the outside industry or something that attends like smaller shows here and there, to go to a show like that, it could be overwhelming for sure.
I just remember walking in and seeing our products right away. We were in the hallway right away. Like, so as soon as you hit that corner to the convention center, we were already started. And I was just like, okay. And then I went into another room. We were right there. And then I went into the main convention room. We were right there. So I was just like, how are we doing all this? Like, and I just saw everybody kind of turning to like 100. They were just like focused. Changes were being made on the fly. But all in all, to come back on the day when everything was set, it was perfect.
Yeah. And those youths, you say, as you walked in, we call the sponsorship aisle. People look at it like, oh, they look fancy and they all sync to one. They don't know what goes into syncing as units from networking and from controllers. A lot of work goes into it, both planning on the content and the actual physical hardware. So I let it because, oh, right, they just expect it to be done that way. The challenges we had with this show this year was a small band called Backstreet Boys. So when we move in with the cases, and thousands of people are coming down the aisle, going to Backstreet Boys with the Sphere, and we were holding, we included cases going the other direction. So that was a challenge. Then we had the result of Oz the next day, that crowd, but the Venetian people figured it out and got like a separate aisle, so it wasn't our way. But it is one of those venues that if you do a show over the weekend, you're gonna get that foot traffic, and you have to just figure it out, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the V-shaped units, I think the whole month, every show that Venetian does, other venues can do as well. They just give you that double sided, and when we added that center panel with visibility for the show organizers, that'll add a lot. So there are elements of that show that people don't even realize, and we kind of, if you come from the trade show industry, you can tell when the show is behind, and you will see later ramping up, and you see they were going late. The biggest challenge of that show was not even the Backstreet Boys or the Wizard of Oz. The biggest challenge that show in the last 3 years is on Super Bowl weekend, and it might sound like something like what's the big deal, but you know we got labor and people that don't stop when Super Bowl start. Oh, they're gonna go watch the game that we've done as of last year to kind of offset that. We did '80s really quick. We put the game on it, so they would definitely leave so they can watch the game on the floor. And it's been a great synergy between the real labor guys and whatnot, keeping them on the floor working while the game is on. Otherwise, you lose 80% of the workforce.
The fact that we can even just shows the versatility right there. Like equals right, people working, have the game on too. I wish I knew about that part.
But I mean, listen, people will call me, say, "Hey, the day you started there, yeah, TV, you have an extra kiosk here." I'm not. I remember it happened. Because everyone on the floor is our partner. IMB companies, exhibit houses, show management, contractor, everyone wants it. But B, the value is getting someone that type of screen and they keep working, especially we were behind on, I would say, we had 35 exhibitors. I think about half of them were behind. The other shows going to town that affect, later, you never spoke about it before in our other podcasts, but Vegas, as big as it is, and the amount of shows that come in,
Yeah.
you do share the labor pool with other conventions or other shows in town, right?
Makes sense.
So when you have a popular show and those dates are very popular, you have to account for the fact that you might not have the labor that you want for that show. So you need to offset it with more people in your team. You have to be more organized. You have to be on point. So what we did particular for that show is like whenever we had regular dough, we worked on that. We would wait for exhibit houses, bids that are out later. We just did wherever we could. So we still with the ones that were a little behind. Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense because when I was wearing this shirt, walking around, people looked to me for solutions, and I was like, "It was solution. It was great. Like, oh, this works. This works. Who do I need to tell?" Like, I'm just like, I'm here to shoot the camera, but I did direct them to the right people because, like I said, everybody was moving so fast with like focus. It reminded me of that LeBron face when he got super focused and locked in on the Heat. Like that's how I felt. Everybody was.
You didn't enjoy his face. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
It's okay. It's a generational thing. You'll get it. Yeah. But listen, that shirt, that logo gets you a lot of trouble because everyone wants you to build something for them, right? The expectation is there. And listen, we've been asked before on Beats or not even hours or solutions to kind of figure out if we can help. We're happy that we jump in, help our partners. Whether it's HDMI cable missing power or not.
and each
Not in the trade.
yeah. So I mean, like I said, just wearing this shirt alone, everybody they already knew who we were. They already knew what we were capable of, and I thought that was great. Like it just kind of reflected back on the business, like as a whole, because they didn't know me from a pan. They didn't know me at all. Like they were just like, "Hey, Popshap, okay, we got this build." I'm like, "All right, let me find the right person."
And this is part of being, out of a part of the industry. it really is a family. And I like to make the analogy of the family. You have the dad, which is general contract. You have the mom, which is the show management. You have the kids, it could be the IEDs, the AV companies. Everyone is working together for one goal to make sure the show opens, right? So I've had situations where, competitors coming in, they're missing some of the re-helper, vice versa. It happens all the time. And it's nice that we're becoming more of a brand. So we recognize and associate us with AV and what we're doing. I can tell you 4 years ago, people are making fun of the radio. Like, what the hell is Popshap and way? But thank God we're at a point where people know what we do and how we operate. And with the focus on manifest, which was the focus, once the show opens, now you shift focus into, you have the on-site team is still to service the show, but half of the people that were working on manifest, going to another show or what came after that. Gosh, I even know we had so many shows, but I myself after manifest, I flew to, I believe, Chicago or somewhere else. I don't even remember. And it just, it goes on. February, March, actually started in January. It's like back to back, back to back. As we speak, we're moving into Con Expert 2 area. We came back from Orion, National Park Rest, it just goes on, right? And that's the industry we're in. I'm again back to Manifest. We're blessed to have a client like Manifest. They understand that you do. When there's that issue, we work it through.
Yeah.
We figure things out. We're all on the same side, and we get it done. It'd be very sad to see them leave going to Hive, but I'm sure they work with them in many years to come. Yeah, the case study is coming from Manifest if it's not already on the website, right?
Yeah.
And I know that's going to highlight the solutions. I will pay attention, particularly to what we did with the digital posters, because I keep like talking to digital posters, but the effect the digital posters have at a show is not even quantified in our world. It's like the flexibility, how they change. You can't print all the signage
No.
at a affordable cost or deploy them at the speed that we had. We had less than 2 days to use the show. So imagine if you had mistakes on your printout. So digital signage is really key. And I think that it's just going to keep growing. Manifest and a few months ago, they did Money 2020 at the same venue. These digital posters transformed the floor and how people are navigating very intense sessions and whatnot.
I remember when the floor first opened, it was the big rush. And I was like, where everybody going? Where are you guys gonna go? Like, what's first? The wayfinding, the touchscreen. They knew right away. And I saw somebody that was like a helper sitting there, but they were just saying hello. And the technology was doing all the work. But then they saw ArcBest, and that beef really had me excited. Just how the screen layout was. I mean, it was dual sided on there, and I was amazed because I was like, how did they build this so fast? And
It in the centerpiece, the location ArcBest has every year manifest is a prime location. They get a really good location in Modex to share that we're going next to. And if you look up 4 years ago with the same show manifest, it was digitally, but not what it is today. I mean, that show, just the growth went from when I'm not surprised it sold and they did really well. It really every year almost not doubled, but added like 50-60%.
yeah,
I've been to all the entire birth and existence of that show. It's very impressive. The second thing was very impressive to me is how well they navigate their crowds. You mentioned as a guru that's helping. When you are a first year show and you're adding technology, I wouldn't assume people know how to use it.
yeah.
So they do a good job with back signage that they provide so people know what the units are for. And then once you come to the second year, this is a show that pretty much the same crowd, 80% of it comes back. I was like the industry at the end. Yeah, it's people that come for the sessions, for the social, for the relationships. So it's the same people, and they're gonna know what the kiosk is after first year. So you don't need to do much education, attendee education, I call it. But yeah, I mean, kudos to them for being so successful and leading the way. I think they are leading the way. And that size trade show, 6,000-7,000 attendees, they're really, I'm trying to think of other shows that are similar. Feel free to put in the comments if you think the shows are similar to Manifest. They're doing a good job in, the digital aspects, the sessions, the activities, the social, all that, for sure. Yeah.
I would definitely want to see. So please put that in the comments below if you have a show, because that show, being my first to actually shoot, it was a bit overwhelming because I didn't know where to start. It was just so much going on and so many booths that we had our hand in. So I just had to start and go down the line and just, work my way through. But
Yeah, and 3 years ago, they had a handful of those shows. You can count one hand on your rows type of shows we had. And fast forward 3 years, and we have a lot of our shows are becoming more digitized. Shout out to our amazing team that really makes it happen. Logistically, if you're not on that show, you're dead in the water. So it takes, the saying, it doesn't take an army, but it takes an army to get this to the finish line. And then there's no like, well, finish Manifest, we're going home relaxing, because the next show was right behind the corner, right? So
yeah. No. Okay, so one thing I do want to touch on, because everybody stopped when they saw this. It was the cube. I'm calling it the cube right now, and I'm sure we'll get another name for
mini cube, yeah. Mobile cube, whatever you want to call it, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously you guys are gonna see the cube. I'm gonna put it in right here, but I was just amazed by the cube, and then so many people had to stop and like go around the cube. It's fun watching people walk around a cube and a floor, like, and it was just digital information, and he just kept circling in a circle. So I'm like, what is our plan with that moving forward?
I could tell you, I took a video. First year content was great. Also, it's not just the hardware. I took a video, I put it on LinkedIn. Within 2 hours of the video I put on LinkedIn, I had over 3,000, reaction to it. Impressions, they called, not like, but impression of people looking at it. Over 10 requests for the same product. We since we booked that product and multiply, because now we have, we had to produce multiple mini cubes, so we can accommodate the shares. But yeah, I need the reaction. Not only it's a unique product, when you put it on casters and you show people that you can move it, you can create a situation where day one it's at the expo hall entrance, day two you take it to registration or an activation, day three closing ceremony, and you just have to swap the content, and that centerpiece is really meaningful. So I Manifest, they end up keeping the main engagement all the sessions.
Yeah.
But we just did a share area where they added expo, they're gonna move it around. So made to use of that video cube. It just shows you that it's a simple solution. We didn't create the industry of DR. We only said, okay, whatever needs on the show floor, let's try this. Just like with these beautiful tables. This table was produced and for Henry Schein, one of our clients, and we're using it for a podcast. Imagine as a studio environment, which we're going to showcase that in a few weeks in another show. But it's already entertainment and medicine already used, and people are like wow by it. But it's just thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
Knowing the industry, knowing what works and what people are looking for is key. And we're doing so many shows, and we have so many conversations with our partners of what they're looking for. It's really making a difference in what we deliver. And we listen. If you listen to a client, I'll tell you what they want, how to engage their attendees, if they have a membership booth, how to work, collect feedback. So I'm excited, not just for these products. We have a few new products coming. We partnerships are coming. We never stay static. We keep on going. Because we need material for the podcast, right?
Yeah, we got to keep going.
Yeah, otherwise, what are we going to talk about?
I don't know what else to
Dahlia?
Yeah.
No. We could talk about Dahlia. She just got a big tax refund for IRS. So I don't know if this is going to go viral or whatnot. So I will look into that. Yeah, David Zalartine Casas just got married, so congrats to David. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but he did get married,
It's public information, I think.
Yeah, it is public at this point. We had a lot of things going on. We're expanding our team. There's a lot of things that are going to happen in the next few weeks. Coming up, we have National Product Rest, as I mentioned before, Con Expo, Global Fair Expo, CISO, RevDop.
Goodness, we're
It's
just
just
ready
it
to,
never stops.
and it's a content war with me right now because we have so many shows going at once. I don't know which show to talk about, but that's a good problem to have. It's not bad. I'm complaining because I get to look at photos, see what we presented, and see how people reacted to certain things. Guessing, honestly, is a much.
Yeah, I would be show specific. I would be more of a solution
Yeah,
based,
that's a change.
and and talk about what we're doing different in the industry and how we're ability impact to sponsorship, to engagement, to the experience.
Yeah.
Like I said, and I say all the time, shows are not what they used to be 10 years ago. The 10 year going for experience, they want to be activated, they want to be wowed. We're working on solutions on our partners that it's all based on the activation. We're not selling an equipment, we're selling an experience and an activation, but everyone's going to talk about it the next day after the show. So I'm excited what's to come and
I love that because that is exactly what I was thinking. It was an experience. And that's why when I saw the cube, I saw their experience firsthand. And it's when you work for the company that does that, it just feels different. I agree. Yeah. So I loved it. Manifest 2026 was amazing to me. Hopefully I get to go to more shows. Obviously I am, but that was a good start. Way to jump in the ocean without swimming, knowing how to swim. Absurd, but I made it happen. That's a t-shirt right there. Right. So see you in the next one. Have a good one.